We're going to take a walk back up here just a little bit and see what's going on at the end of the street. Visibility hasn't really changed much. You still can't really see those houses. It looks like one rig is moved away from the end of the block. I'm sorry, my hat just keeps blowing off. It's really windy, which is terrible for these firefighters and those hot embers that are now flying all over this neighborhood.
Yeah, and Jean,
you can see the trees. I mean, the wind is crazy.
Our meteorologists, Rob Maeda and Carrie Hall, were saying that in these strong winds, one single ember can travel 1 entire mile and scorch and ignite a new fire. And by the sounds of it, that's what you're seeing with these winds.
Jean, I know it's hard to assess.
And it's really reminiscent of...
Are there any houses, did any houses catch fire? Give us an assessment of what you've seen so far. Has it just been the trees near the houses? It looks from what we can see, from what you're showing us, that no houses caught fire in this area.
Not yet. They've done a good job. Well, so we've got a fence on fire, Kevin. This fence has just caught fire behind this house. And there's a firefighter in the back here with a hose. I'm just gonna let them know. The fence is on fire a little bit over here. But so they're in people's backyards using garden hoses, wetting things down as best as they can, trying to protect these homes. And so far, it seems to be working. So as every house is standing here. And there's about 20 firefighters here working to make sure that
about skating?
They stay standing. But we've got a lot of spot fires happening behind this house. I'm going to guess there's spot fires flaring up behind every house here. So not just fire hoses, but garden hoses. Firefighters are using whatever they can get their hands on to get these fires out.
We just want to remind our viewers as they're watching Jean Elle there in Windsor, right next to the fire crews battling these spot fires, that she has been trained to do this. She knows she is feeling safe, and if she were not feeling safe, she would be getting herself and her cameraman out of that area.
We do. We go through fire training alongside with firefighters, not to the extent obviously, but we do go through yearly fire training. We have specialized gear that we wear in these situations, and we do take fire classes so that we can work in tandem there alongside the firefighters. And if she was in imminent danger, I can assure you that the fire crews they boot you out of the area.
Exactly.
They have no problem telling us when we've reached the point that we can no longer participate along them. So I know it seems dangerous to see Jean, or the last few days you've seen Bob Riddell out there on the fire lines. You see us very close to firefighters. We do get training, so we are in a position where we do know what we're doing out there. We are not in any way putting Jean in danger. This is the nature of what we do. This is our job. This is what we're prepared to do. And we do this because we need to keep you safe, and we need to let you know how you can keep yourself safe and how to protect yourself and your family. So this is what we do.
And what a perfect example to see Jean, again, 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago, it looked completely fine where she was, and how quickly this scene changed.
Rob Maeda just walked over to me a second ago and showed me that in this area where Jean is, and Rob, if you want to come in and chat with us about this, you're talking about 53-mile-an-hour winds in this area?
Yeah, and the spotting of the fires, the satellite heat detection showing some activity on the northeastern side of Windsor. And as has been pointed out, at these wind speeds of 40 to 50 miles per hour, an active ember just the size of a fingernail can travel more than a mile. So a lot of times when you saw Jean Elle reporting live, you were seeing what I think were embers landing on some of those higher trees and setting them on fire.
I saw that one tree really big. Jean, can you still hear us?
I do hear you. We're just checking out what firefighters are doing behind this house. It looks like they're laying some additional lines, but things look okay. It was interesting when the fire first approached and the firefighters were first running out of that park. You could hear a different noise. It wasn't the wind. It was kind of a bit of a roar. And so I'm kind of trying to listen right now to see. I hear something and I'm not quite sure what it is, but it looks like firefighters are assessing this backyard. They'd pulled a line. I don't know if there's a I don't know, that's a garden hose. I don't know if there's another gate, but they seem very interested in what's happening behind this house, maybe fires approaching. They're just trying to figure out what's going on and what's coming at them so that they can prepare. Although I don't see any active flame, but heavy smoke. And so far, they've done a great job.
Okay, Jean, if you could
So
just hang on there for a second. I know
They're
you're going to
saying
monitor.
the fire, yeah, sure.
All right, Jean, it's tremendous.
What are they saying to you, Jean? What are they saying?
They're saying the fire is right on the other side of the fence and they need to get someone back there to put it out. But I don't think it's it's a spot fire, I believe. So they're trying to figure out how to access it.
Literally, we're watching live on TV. Fire crews decide how they're going to battle this. I mean, this is such a close-up inside look to see how they work.
And as mentioned, so
we're
many
going
of
to
these.
just follow them out and do our best to stay out of their way. But they are, they're pulling the big hose. Let's get out of their way, Kevin. So yes, as you were saying, they're figuring things out minute by minute, assessing the situation and then figuring out, figuring out the best way to attack the fire and stop it from advancing. They don't seem too concerned, so that's good. I think that means they are confident they can handle it. Now they've, this is where they were focusing their efforts. Let's go back here again, Kevin. This is where they were focusing their efforts before, was behind this house, and now it looks like they've moved on. So maybe the danger for this house has passed for the moment, because the embers seem to be landing further down the street. But it's, a dynamic situation and that could change. So they're still here. This is where they came running. There's a fence back there. And before the big orange glow and that noise, this is where the firefighters they'd gone back to assess what was going on. And then they came running back this way. And that was when they knew, or that was the signal that there was trouble. So we've got a fence on fire. I think that's what they're trying to address on the other side of that house.